Is a pullback likely coming for COAI or ChainOpera AI token, which has been on fire? Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take a look into the charts here because it's going to be very interesting. Now, this coin has been out for just a couple of weeks. Okay. What is the market cap on this coin right now? It is, let's see here. It is, wow, it's already ranked number 28, okay, in terms of market cap. It's over $4 billion, and it came out of pretty much nowhere. And it's been around for the past couple of weeks, and it has been surging like crazy. Okay, is there any more upside in the short term for CoAI, or will it be taking a pullback from here because it's been. Let's take a look into the RSI here, which is a indicator I love to use that tells me how overbought something is and the strength of a move when it rebounds. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is a very bought overall RSI here, a daily time frame RSI, and it went basically to 100 for a couple of days, which is crazy. Okay, very crazy. And what we're seeing here is a rebound with bearish divergence. Why is bearish divergence important to be paying attention to? Because it usually tells you that there's going to be a pullback coming. Okay. Now we had that since yesterday's daily candle close. Okay. So you got to be wondering if this daily candle close is going to end up in a red candle, which would be the pullback or a start of a bigger pullback, or will this continue going? Right? But the chances are, the probability is, what this indicator is telling me is that it is more likely to be taking a pullback. I didn't make that up. You guys can verify that on Google, on ChatGPT. What is the meaning of bearish divergence? Let's take a look into a. So it's looking like it's likely to take a pullback here. Okay. Let's also take a look into a smaller time frame because there's not too much data here on this for this coin. This is the 15-minute time frame, and what I'm seeing here is a rising wedge pattern. I don't have three candles touching on the upper trend line, but I think the second candle is close enough. That is just my opinion. And this is a rising wedge pattern from what I'm seeing personally, and rising wedges have a higher chance of breaking to the downside. Let's just say, and you couple this pattern, this bearish pattern, with the daily time frame RSI, which also tells me it's likelier to break to reverse, right, to pull back. You put one and one together, that gives me a more likelihood of just using one single indicator that something would play out. So I have two indicators that tells me it's likelier to break to the downside. Okay. Now we're all just talking about probabilities here. Okay. Could this thing still break out? Yes, but then I'm just saying the risks are higher if you're in a long position because of these indicators. Um, so I'm not too keen on getting into high risk positions because I like trading for the long run. And if I keep stacking the odds in my favor based on these patterns, based on these indicators, then it is more likely that I will be winning in the long run. Just like casinos, right? Where they even have just a small edge in their favor. Now, what this is doing is that this is a rising wedge pattern. I see that the bears already try to break down from it once. Okay. Now, however, it ends up back into the pattern, right? And this is still a valid pattern because I think um, on the 30-minute time frame, I would still say this is a still a rising wedge pattern, right? And if it breaks down by this point here, for example, the price target would be about $11.25, which is catastrophic. Okay, for which is a huge pullback. Okay, if this thing plays out. Now, breakdown targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less. Okay, So you just gotta see, and a lot of it is gonna depend on what happens with Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin continues to dump, I think that's gonna kill some of these altcoins momentum. Okay, so that's basic. So this is basically what I think about AI in a nutshell for the short term. In the long term, let's take a look here. We don't really have data yet for the weekly time frame. For the 3-day time frame, do we have data? So we don't really have that much data on these higher time frames yet, but that's what I'm seeing on the shorter time frame. And what I'm talking about data is the RSI data. Okay, that is one of the main things I look at. And I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here. So my opinions on this market are still bullish. Even though in the longer term, um, but shorter term, I think we're gonna experience some turbulence here, especially with Bitcoin looking like it's at the 110K range. Okay, I did a more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today. I will link you guys at the end of this video. Very important to be paying attention to that. I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin. And this wraps it up for this video. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of CoAI or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll pick a request to you for you guys on a daily basis, and see you on the next one.